Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. No gross expression is without subtle pre-existence. For example, in a group of people, in a gathering, everybody is so attentively involved, maybe in a performance or a lecture, and one person suddenly gets up and goes away. So we are surprised. How come this fellow is suddenly going away? He may be suddenly for us, but you ask him, he was holding up to a particular limit. Now if I don't go, I will do it here. So the gross expression is seen by us as if suddenly it has happened. It is not sudden. There was something which was unmanifest. Like most of the places where cancer is discovered, detected, they say suddenly, she was diagnosed as having cancer. It is not suddenly. There is a friend of mine, she is a gynecologist and a very hard-working, very nice lady. Because of her profession, she has to stand all the time. Delivery cases, they have to stand and do it. So, her legs develop varicose veins, so they are very painful. So, to kill the pain, she started taking the painkillers. Because she is a doctor, she has got free access. And slowly, her dose increased. Little dose will not affect her. So she has started taking more dose. She became addicted to those painkillers. And as a result, all pains were subsided by that medicine. And in spite of that, one day she had some pain below. So she called her friend, who is as a gynecologist. Hey, kindly check. What's wrong? I am not feeling comfortable. So the friend came and saw her just touch the cervix, like a pot of water breaking. Suddenly, about a bucket of blood came out. All brittle tissue, because it was cancerous. And then everything was done, operated, everything is fine now. So she asked me, Swamiji, I don't know how come suddenly I got cancer. I said, Amma, it was 3rd degree cancer. It was not sudden. It was there. Because of your constant painkillers, the pain of the cancer was also subsided. If this example is clear, in the same manner, whatever actions we have outside, they are having an unmanifest existence in us at the level of speech, at the level of thought, and at the level of impressions. See? If you take 2 seeds, one that of a tomato plant and other that of a chili plant, both the seeds are very small. And if we analyze them chemically, both of them will have the same 5 great elements. But when we sow them, the different plants come out. Now what is that which is making the difference? The difference is on account of the impressions, inherent tendencies. In the same manner, all of us have got different kind of thoughts, different kind of actions. Now these differences are coming from where? We are all made up of the same five great elements. We all have got the same sense organs. We all have got the same kind of organs of action, the mind, the modification. Yet there is so much of difference. On what count? So our scriptures tell the differences are on account of the impressions that we carry. So these impressions are unmanifest. And they are called as the cause. Cause is always unmanifest and effect is manifest. Now if this is clear, then we come now to the japa. The speech by which I am talking to you is the grossest of the speeches. Subtler than that, which you cannot hear, but I can keep on murmuring myself. You won't understand, but I am chanting. So that is the subtler than the gross speech. Then still subtler than the gross speech is absolutely unmanifest. And the ultimate is the pure consciousness. So these are the four stages through which the speech is born and it goes back. Like the bubble gum. Children eat, they bring out the bubble and it goes back. In the same manner, from the consciousness which is beyond sound and silence, the silence comes and then the sound comes. But the consciousness is beyond both the sound and the silence. So japasadhana is starting from the sound, ending in the silence, and going beyond the sound and the silence. This is the purpose for what we do the japa or chanting of the Lord's name. These four stages are our four kind of experiences. If we are all awake now, what are the criteria that we say we are in a waking state? In a waking state, when I say a watch is a word and watch is an object. So in the waking state, the word and the object, they are separate from each other. This is the waking experience. Then the second thing, the dream experience. In the dream experience, the objects are also thoughts and the words are also thoughts. Like when we are talking to ourselves or we are dreaming, there everything is in the form of the thought. But the object of the thought and the word of the thought, they are separate from each other, although both of them are thoughts. Then we go to the third stage. In that third stage, the object and the thought, they are not yet separated. These are the three stages. Fourth I will come later. So now at this stage where we are living in a stage where the word and the object indicated by the word, they are separate. So when we do the japa, this is called as Vaikhari Vani, gross speech. So by the Vaikhari Vani, when we do the japa, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Slowly, slowly, when our speech becomes mature, then the speech becomes silent. And then from the Vaikhari Vani, the speech migrates downwards, comes at the level of the throat. And in the throat, it is the Madhyama Vani, which is subtler than the gross. And when the speech or the words come down at the level of the Madhyama Vani, there the object and the thought, both of them are only thoughts. So when in the dream we have object watch and the word watch, both of them are only thoughts, but separate from each other. It is here we graduate and come in our japasadhana. Thereafter, when we continue this japasadhana for years, then this japa, the Lord's name, migrates from the throat and comes to the umbilicus, where the thought and the object, they are not separate from each other. They are one. All those great masters, they live at this Pashyanti Vani. This is called as Pashyanti. Because there the thoughts and the objects are not separate from each other, whatever they think, that happens. See? This is the way that we get out of the gross world and enter the subtle world. So up to the Pashyanti Vani is our effort in our japa sadhana. When we are at the level of the Vaikhari Vani, with which we are talking, you must have seen when some people talk, their words go and directly touch our heart. There are some people who talk sincerely, but their words do not touch our heart. They don't lack sincerity, but they lack something. What is that? And that is this, where the word and the object of the word, when they remain separate, meaning when the words do not carry the meaning of the word, those words do not make an impact on the mind of the listener. Such people are talking only from the lips. They do not go deep in their own personality. Better than that are those people who talk and we are able to enjoy their talk, but there is no experience ever possible. Such people are living in the Madhyama Vani. And still further, those masters who live at the Pashyanti Vani, when they talk, the experience takes place. See how important it is. And this is achieved through the japa sadhana. That is why we keep on chanting the Lord's name. That will cull away all the worldly thoughts. And when the mind is not entertaining the worldly thoughts, only one thought, the Lord's name, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. The dissipation of the energy is stopped. leakage. Take an example to understand this. Suppose there is a pipe going upwards to fill in the tank, overhead tank. So what do? We have a pump fixed at the bottom. We switch on the pump. The water column slowly rises above and the water tank is filled in. Now suppose that water column which is rising above through that pipe, if that pipe has got many holes, what will happen? Whatever power with which that water column was rising is dissipated, leakage is taking place. And we wanted to fill in the tank which could have been filled in 1 hour. Now you keep it on for hours together and it does not fill in, like the sink in our toilet. See? When that leakage is there, the tap is putting the water, but it is again going. It has to be blocked. This is blockage of the leakage of our energy is achieved through this chanting of the Lord's name. Friends, physically, when we do some work, and suppose we lose, for our understanding, we'll take some unit. Suppose we lose 1 kilogram of energy in our physical activity, let us say within 8 hours. Now much more than 1 kilo energy is spent when you talk even for 1 hour. Because the energy required for speech is more than the energy required for physical work. That is why the Mauna Sadhana. Now the 3rd degree. If we bleed, let us take 1 liter of blood. Whatever loss we have through 1 liter of blood, much more than the loss is when we do not preserve our vital fluids in the form of the reproductive fluids. That is why celibacy is considered as one of the most important source of preserving our energy. One day, one boy, about 22, came to meet me. He said, Swamiji, I got very depression. I don't feel like doing anything. I feel very exhausted. I went to all the doctors, but nobody tells. Please tell what I should do. I straight away asked him. I said, stop spending your reproductive energy in wrong channels. Stop that. Swamiji, how do you know? I said, it is seen in your eyes. It is one of the most vital energy in our life. When this is not understood, right from the teenage, we go on spending that divine energy. When you conserve that energy, you have a glow on your face. You have a confidence in your heart. You never go negative thinking. You never become indulgent in this world. And much more energy loss than the sex energy loss is the energy loss when we think unwanted thinking. See the 4 degrees. First is the energy loss through gross body. Second is energy loss through speech. Third is energy loss through the sex fluids. And fourth is energy loss through thinking. These are the 4 channels through which all our divine energy is constantly leaking away. And because of that, our actions do not have confidence. Our words do not have meaning. We are, instead of being creative, we become indulgent. And instead of becoming contemplative, we become worrying. These are all the abnormalities we create in our life because we have not conserved this divine energy which is available for every one of us. And for that purpose, when we start conserving this divine energy and we start from the speech. So when we start chanting the Lord's name, do it regularly. It can't be done in 1 week or 2. We have to keep on doing this throughout our life. Like throughout our life we have to take food. We can't say that I have taken food, now it's over for the whole life. No. We have to take. So we keep on chanting the Lord's name by our Vaikhari Vani. When this Vaikhari Vani becomes mature, like when the apple is mature enough, it automatically drops from the tree. We don't have to pluck. In the same manner, when our Vaikhari speech, Vani, becomes mature, it automatically becomes silent. And then the speech goes down at a higher level called as Madhyama Vani. This we continue for years. And when this becomes mature, it goes to the Pashyanti Vani. And when it goes to Pashyanti Vani, where the objects and the thought of the object, they are undifferentiated. Like the seed. In the seed, the plant growing upward and the root system going downward, they are not differentiated. They are in a seed form. In the same manner, in the Pashyanti Vani, the objects and the thought, they are undifferentiated. So when we slowly mature and start abiding, what we say has to happen. You go beyond the rules of nature. No rules of nature can operate on such a master. Therefore, this japasadhana, do not take it. It is only chanting the name of the Lord. It will definitely help us if we systematically follow it in our life. Now, after this is said, now today I will take you one step further. This is apart from the japasadhana. When we chant the Lord's name, Om Namah Shivaya, this portion I explained to you. Now, this japa of the Lord's name is done for controlling the mind. What is happening? Our mind goes in millions of directions continuously. One moment it is here, next moment it goes there, third moment it goes there. We just can't control it. So we know that mind is either multi-pointed, many points, or in deep sleep the mind is zero-pointed. And both these conditions of the mind, they are not creative. Then which is the creative condition of the mind? When the mind is single-pointed. What is the single-pointedness of the mind? When the mind is available to a given job for a required length of time without getting bored and tired, that is called as, that freedom is called as single pointedness. We don't have freedom. We may want, I will go and listen fully. Try whatever you may try. Now and then the mind goes here and there. Again, hey, come here, we are in the class. Okay. See? And this single pointedness is the most powerful instrument. It is something like, in the normal sunlight, if you stand, we don't get burned. But if you bring the sunlight or the sun rays through a convex lens, put them together into a beam, then that will burn anything. In the same manner, our mind's infinite energy, it is dissipating in all the directions. But when it is brought single-pointedly, it has got infinite power. And such a powerful, strong person can employ that mind for contemplation on the truth. So this is the second aspect of japasadhana. Now how this is done? Now while doing this type of japasadhana, we have got a different approach. The approach and the purpose. Purpose is controlling the mind. And approach is like this. First of all, I try to control my mind with reference to, let us say, 3 times only I will chant. And during that 3 times chanting, my mind should not go anywhere. There should not be a dissimilar thought other than the mantra. This I try 3 times and then keep quiet. And in this quietness, there is no thought. And again when we feel the thought is coming, again we engage the mind for chanting again 3 times. So slowly by practice, we learn the art, like a child learns the art of walking, that it can walk 2 steps and falls. And he continues his practice. Then slowly he is able to walk 4 steps and again he falls. Then after some time more practice, then he is able to walk 8 steps. Again he falls. In the same manner, our mind, first of all, will try to control the mind with as less as 3 times chanting, and then keep quiet. Then again 3 times chanting, again keep quiet. And our attention is on chanting. And after we do with the 3 times, then increase your stamina. Make it, let us say, 5 times. So then we chant 5 times, one after another, and see that during this 5 times of chanting, no dissimilar thought enters in between. This we do for months together. Again we increase it. After we have done 5 times perfectly, then make it 7 or 8 or 10 times. Don't directly jump into 100 times. For the first time, when I was initiated in the Gayatri Mantra, we were told that we have to chant 11 times only. Om Bhurvus Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yon Prachodayat. Om Bhurvus Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam. I thought, Why only 11 times? I will chant 108 times without knowing my own capacity. And then I will start taking a mala. Om Urvu Sahata Saidurvaranya Margo Devasa Dhimahi Dhiyo Yana Prachodada. Om Urvu Sahata Saidurvaranya Margo Devasa Dhimahi Dhiyo Prachodada. Om Urvu Sahata Saidurvaranya Margo Devasa Dhimahi. Om Urvu Sahata Saidurvaranya Margo Devasa Dhimahi. Om Urvu Om Urvu Om Urvu. It was only a mess. And during that time, the mind used to run like mad. One day, I suddenly discovered, I said, hey, what are you doing? You must lift something according to your capacity. Nobody, he is lifting such a huge, suitcase, I can also do. He has emptiness here and all the feelings are here. So you don't do that. No, I can also do. And then we lift a heavy thing and get a pull in the back for the whole life. So let us recognize our own capacity. And therefore, never directly start doing for 100, 200 times for this purpose. So how do we do this? So we'll start now. Sit properly. Our attitude is that of joy and cheer. Mind is calm and quiet. Our Lord is in our heart. The Guru Maharaj is guiding us from within. We are nobody. We have no plans what we do after japa. Now we get involved with all sincerity. And today's session of chanting is to learn how to control the mind and do not allow the dissimilar thoughts to enter in between. So I will chant, you repeat after me. Now at this stage we don't require mala or the rosary. Om Namah Shivaya.
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 Om Namah Shivaya. we can now observe the following things. 1. This Om Namah Shivaya is a clear thought initiated by us, maintained by us, and concluded by us. It begins from the silence, it remains in the silence, it goes back to the silence. When we are in between the thoughts of Om Namah Shivaya, we do hear very subtle sounds of the insects, crickets, etc. They are also thoughts. But those thoughts we are not consciously creating. They are only inputs. So in this japa technique, what is done is, we remain indifferent to all the inputs of thoughts. And create positive thoughts like the Lord's name, and learn that in fact every thought begins from where it ends. So thoughts are not the reality. They come and go. But there is a divine presence which supports both the thoughts and their absence. This recognition takes place very clearly when we achieve perfect control over the mind chanting the Lord's name. Suppose we have now conquered our mind for chanting 3 times. Now we will increase the length of control time by chanting, let us say, 5 times. And be aware that no dissimilar thought comes in. Om Namah Shivaya.
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 Take a deep breath or two. Now you have observed yourself how when we chant in this manner without any special efforts, our posture becomes firm, steady and relaxed. Entering in meditation becomes a matter of fun, no struggle. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnaat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.